Hello dear friends, Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. We are discussing about the anatomy of the lungs, right friends? So in the previous lecture we had discussed about the surfaces of the lungs, that there are costal surface and the medial surface, and what are the structures which are related to costal surface of the right lung and costal surface of the left lung. Now in this lecture we are discussing about the root of the lungs. So let us see some important points about the root of the lungs. The root of the lungs is a short, broad pedicel. It's like this, right? Connecting the medial surface of the lungs with the mediastinum. Okay, so the medial surface of the lungs with the mediastinum. It consists of structures entering and leaving the hilum of the lungs. Friends, okay, let me show you in this diagram here. This is called the medial surface of the lungs, right? And this is the costal surface of the lungs. In the costal surface of the lungs, there is this pedicel part, this one, right? This is called the hilum of the lungs. So, it is the part where different arteries enter, veins enter and arteries come out, lymphatics come out, nerves enter, right? So we say that the hilum consists, or we say the root of the lungs consists of the structures which enter and leave the lungs, hilum or hilum of the lungs. The hilum is the area on the mediastinal surface of the lungs, right? Hilum is the area on the mediastinal surface of the lungs through which structures enter or leaving the lungs, right? Then the root of the lung is surrounded by a tubular sheet derived from the mediastinal fluid. Okay, this was its introduction. Now what are the components of the root of the lung? The root of the lung consists of the following structures. Number one, principal bronchus in the left lung and epartial and hypartial bronchi in the right lung, right? So here you can see this is the epartial bronchus, this is the hypartial bronchus. They enter the lungs, and in case of the left lung there is only this left principal bronchus, right? Then pulmonary artery, which is common for both here, pulmonary veins, two in number. So look, these are the two pulmonary veins, superior and inferior pulmonary veins, they enter. Then bronchial artery, there is bronchial artery, those branches which supply blood to the lungs, right? So bronchial arteries, one on the right side and two on the left side. Bronchial veins, which drain deoxygenated blood from the mass of the lungs. Lymphatics of the lungs. Anterior and posterior pulmonary plexus of the nerves, right friends? So in the root of the lung, which structures will be present? The principal bronchus in the left lung and the partial and hypartial bronchi in the right lung, the root of the right lung. The pulmonary artery, the pulmonary veins, twin number, bronchial arteries, bronchial veins, lymphatics of the lungs, and anterior and posterior pulmonary plexuses of the nerves. These are the structures which are found in the root of the lungs. Okay, how are these structures arranged? What is the arrangement of the structures in the root of the lung at the hilum? So from before backward means from interior to posterior, it is more or less similar on both sides. Pulmonary vein is there, pulmonary artery, then bronchus, left principal bronchus on the both sides, and a partial and hypartial bronchus on the right side, right? So this is the arrangement from before or from interior to posterior, right friends? First there is pulmonary vein, right? Then pulmonary artery, then bronchi. and we say from above downwards, from superior to inferior, it differs on both sides, right? Look here, from superior to inferior, from superior to inferior. On the right side, or we say on the right lung, there's a partial bronchus. You can see this is a partial bronchus superiorly. We say from superior downwards, a partial bronchus, then pulmonary artery, this one, then hypartial bronchus, look, then inferior pulmonary veins. So inferior pulmonary veins, right, there is, we say pulmonary veins. So why we only say pulmonary, inferior pulmonary vein? Because this hypartial bronchus and superior pulmonary vein a little bit in same line lying there, right? So we say the apartial bronchus and the superior pulmonary vein are in same line on the right side, and inferior to all of them there is the inferior pulmonary vein. So on the right side, what structure is present superiorly? Apartial bronchus. And what structure is present inferiorly? Inferior pulmonary vein. And on the left side, the pulmonary artery is superiorly, then the left principal bronchus, and again superior pulmonary vein, and the inferior pulmonary vein. So these are the structure, the arrangement of structures from superior to inferior in the root of the lungs, right? So what did we discuss here? We discussed about the root of the lung, its position, right, and what does it contains, and what are the components of the root of the lungs, and how are these components arranged in the root of the lung at the hilum. So from before backward means from anterior to posterior arrangement, and from superior to inferior the arrangement. So friends, this was about the root of the lung. Now in the next lecture we will discuss about the bronchial tree, right, and then we will discuss about the arterial supply and venous drainage and the bronchopulmonary segments of the lungs, inshallah, in the next lectures. So see you guys there. Till then, Allah Hafiz.